Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be the things you wouldn't want to know. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So when you were in the narcissistic relationship, there were many things that you were unaware of. First of all, you were unaware that narcissism is prevalent and that perhaps you married a narcissist or you were in a relationship with one. Maybe it was your mom or dad or brother, sister, colleague, coworker, neighbor, person in a community or organization that you were a part of. Maybe it was a business associate, but you did not know that. You didn't know what narcissism was because you weren't taught this in school. So what you were doing back then is you were working for the relationship. No matter what relationship it was, you were doing your best to maintain a relationship. And then over time, you figured out that nothing was changing with that person. What was actually happening was that person was getting worse over time, worse with age, worse with power, worse with your energy. They were consuming so much of your day-to-day energy. Let's take the workplace just for a moment. Let's say that your boss was or coworker turned out to be a toxic individual. Well, what happens there? Every day you would have to go to work and you were trying to perform at a high level, functioning in your job or your occupation. But now you had to battle something else. A person sitting 2 feet away from you, a person peppering you with abuse and telling you how you aren't the best employee or you need to improve this, or trying to blow up your workload. These people are absolutely everywhere, all over the planet. Now, in the workplace, you could say that there's competition. I get that. But it should be a friendly competition. It shouldn't be trying to sabotage another individual's reputation or relationships in the business, in the workplace. That's why, before I get off the business workplace bully, that's why many times you'd be in a boardroom or giving a presentation and you would be thrown under the bus from a question out of left field, or the person that we're talking about, the narcissistic workplace bully, they would try and steal your work and put their name on it and not give you credit for it. This is what happens over and over and over again. And it's not exclusive to a narcissist. It's just, I'm highlighting for you the toxic narcissistic workplace bully. You didn't even know that they existed. Maybe this is the first video you're consuming on the topic and you're understanding, wow, Andrew's actually right here. Well, because I am, because I lived it and I know what it's like. Now, the things you wouldn't want to know, back then you didn't know what narcissism was. You didn't know an awful lot. You didn't know where the narcissist, let's take a romantic setting. You didn't know where they were, who they were with or whom they were with, what time they would be coming home. That when the front door would open, you didn't know if it would be Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde. You didn't know when you bought the peanut butter at the store down the street if that would be the right brand of peanut butter, because it changes, or it seemed to change month to month. You didn't know if your hairstyle would be accepted because maybe you had long hair and you cut it short and it didn't get the approval from the narcissist, or vice versa. Everything you were doing in that relationship was to appease one person, and that was the narcissist. And this was to the detriment of yourself, because you were trapped in that zombie-like, trance-like state, which is called the narcissistic fog. That's where you were existing, specifically after you told these people that you loved them, or you relocated with them, or had kids with them, or loaned them money, or put a roof over their head, or went into business with them. Any of these things or more, that is when they sank their dirty fangs into you, and they began to slowly extract all of your resources, which do include your time, money, energy, effort, love, empathy, your finances, your status, your social circle, your health. They took away all of these things and so many more, and they were loving life when they were doing it, because they were watching somebody, which was you, the person was you, they were watching somebody who was doing extremely well before you met the narcissist, and they were taking you down, chipping away at you, chipping away at your life, your soul, your vibration, your energy. Everything around you was taking a hit left, right, and center. And it was from one person that all this was taking a hit from. It was the narcissist. Because again, you were in that devaluation stage. You were the person who had revealed yourself to the narcissist. In other words, you are an authentic and genuine person, so you have the ability to love. And when you told that person you loved them, well, they now knew, oh my gosh, it only took me 6 months to get this person to say that. I now have them where I want them. They don't know that I can't fall in love with them. So I'll continue to play the charade. I'll continue to play the game. I will continue to throw them little breadcrumbs of what they once saw in me. But again, while I do that, I will pull back slowly, insidiously. And while I do that, I will also begin to take away all of the resources. And then when this person, which was you, after a period of time, maybe it's months, maybe it's years, maybe it's decades, after they have given me the keys to the castle, which means they signed the house over to me, they gave me the boat or the beach house or they gave me access to the finances, or they raised my kids, or they started a business for me, or they did anything possible that I wanted them to do, that's when I'll kick them to the curb. That's when I'll crumble them up like a sheet of paper and throw them away on the freeway, because I already have the replacement lined up. And one of the things that you, the person watching the video right now, that you don't want to know, I can tell you right now, is you don't want to know who the replacement is or the new supply. Many of you do know, and I understand that. And if you do, my heart goes out to you. I will say this, post-narcissistic relationship, the least amount of information you have about the narcissist, the stronger you will get, the better you will get. And the things you wouldn't want to know post-relationship are quite the opposite of the things you did want to know when you were in the relationship. So I'll tie up when you were in the relationship before fast forwarding to post-relationship. When you were in the relationship, you didn't know what was going on because you were being gaslit. You were being given the silent treatment. You were being stonewalled. You were experiencing rage fits and triangulation, among many other traits and verbal abuse, another one that the narcissist does. But the point being, you were experiencing all these toxic behaviors, but you didn't know what they were. You couldn't wrap your head around it. All you knew is behind the four walls of your house, you were being peppered with abuse, and you were being really beaten down. And the narcissist was around you probably less and less and less. Why? I'll tell you why. Because first of all, they did have your replacement lined up or multiple sources of supply because they were testing the temperature of those people. B, when you were home, you were keeping an eye on the house or raising the kids or paying the bills or doing yard work, whatever you were doing. But I can tell you right now, you were working for the narcissist. You weren't living your life. You weren't enjoying your hobbies. You weren't out with your friends. You couldn't be yourself because you were a shell of yourself because you became an extension of the narcissist. The narcissist wanted back then, and even right now, whomever they're with, they want an unpaid helper. They want a walking apology. They want a person to do things for them. So the narcissist can sit back and just do whatever they want to do, maybe even exercise or get in great shape or have enhancements done, whatever they're gonna do, but they're doing things for themselves, selfishly, which is exactly what the narcissist does. And they're having the new supply or whoever they're with doing things for them. That is how these narcissistic relationships are set up from the inception. It is what you provide for the narcissist. That is mainly the reason why these relationships go on and on, because as long as you have resources, the narcissist will keep you around. Once you don't, let's say finances, that's when they will crumble you up and discard you if they can, because you are no longer of use to them. And again, that's when the mask shifts, it changes. That's when you see the pitch darkness of the pupils of the eyes of this person, the narcissist. And that's when they become unrecognizable, because the whole time that you were in the relationship with them, they weren't themselves. They were wearing a mask to manipulate you. That's why, think about this one for a minute. Think about when the narcissist would disappear for weekends or maybe a day or two, and they would come back unannounced, or maybe they would announce and tell you when they're going to be back, and they'd be back later or early or whatever. But why do you think they disappeared like that? First of all, you probably don't want to know, and you didn't know back then, but in retrospect, looking back in time, probably the reasons why there were to be with the new supply, because they could wear a different mask, which is fun for them, because they didn't have to be around you, or they didn't have to be around me. They could, in other words, continue to play a different charade. They could act a different way with a different person in a different location. And that person, who was a supply source, or maybe even still is right now, who knows, but that person was taking a bite of the forbidden fruit also. They fell for the mask, a different version of the mask. And I hope you guys follow this, because this is what the narcissist does. They shapeshift throughout the globe, changing their appearances, changing the way they use words, changing what they like and what they don't like. In other words, their taste. And all they're doing is trying to get through this thing called life and destroy as many lives as they can, create as much disruption, take as much as they can, and blow up other people's relationships. Now, as the thumbnail mentioned, the things you wouldn't want to know post-narcissistic relationship, as I shared with you earlier, the least amount of information you know about the narcissist, the better off you will be. Because all it takes is one picture, or all it takes is one person to say they saw the narcissist and they looked so happy, or whatever it was, whatever these things happen, and that could set you back. And it's meant to set you back. The reason why is because, remember, the narcissistic relationship you were a part of, it was unlike any other relationship you ever encountered, because a healthy or stable relationship, you don't have to heal from it. What you do is you just go your separate ways. Let's say it's a romantic relationship as an example, and yeah, maybe you shed a few tears here and there and you miss the person, but you think positively of them usually, and then you move on, and then you don't really think about them. A narcissistic relationship is completely different. It is breaking the trauma bond, It is untapping or unraveling all of the damage that's been done to you. It's healing, it's learning, it's growing, it's becoming awakened and aware and educated and empowered. But what it is post-relationship is not knowing anything about the narcissist. They can do whatever they're doing if they're still walking the planet, gallivanting the globe, breaking people's hearts and lives. If that's what they're doing, God bless them. Just stay away from me. That is what I say, and that's what I would suggest you stay, because you don't want to know anything about the narcissist. You don't want to know anything about anybody that knew the narcissist or knows the narcissist, because what you didn't know back then when you were in the relationship with them is who they were and what they were doing. You couldn't put your finger on it. Now that you do know, you're getting the wisdom. You're understanding that these people are like cockroaches in the kitchen at midnight when you turn the light switch on. You want nothing to do with them. Now get the message. Now, for those people that the relationship ended recently, I get it. Maybe this video isn't for you. I understand. But in time, in your time, you will heal and you will get the message eventually, because the narcissist doesn't love you. They never have, and they never will. They don't love the new supply. They don't love their family members. They can't love. They have zero love and zero empathy. What they do have is anxiety, manipulation, destruction. They have the ability to be a puppet master and toy with people's lives and spread untruths, i.e. the smear campaign, or flat out lies. This is what they want to do. But each and every day, these narcissistic individuals, they are coming more and more to light, which means people are becoming more and more onto their games, and they're drowning them out, and they're not giving the energy vampires their time, their money, their energy, their effort, their love, or anything. That's why I suggest in the channel so frequently, if you have the ability and you've identified that this person you're talking about or thinking about is a toxic individual, you really need to, I'm suggesting you block them, go no contact, delete them, remove all flying monkeys and people associated with them. If not now, when? Take action, help yourself out. Now, the things you wouldn't want to know, let's think about this in present day. You wouldn't want to know anything about anybody from the past narcissistic relationship time period, because what it will do is if you learn some information about people, specifically the narcissist, what will happen is then probably you will go down the rabbit hole of what ifs. Did I do my best? Could I have changed? Should I have stuck it out longer? Did they change? Did they love me? Can I ever find love again? You'll be asking yourself all those questions, but why you don't want to do that is because you've healed now. You don't have to ask yourself those questions. Or my hope is you are healing and you're headed towards that pinnacle of indifference, the mountaintop of indifference, when you flat out don't care about the narcissist. If that's where you've reached that pinnacle like I have, then you're fine. Honestly, you don't have anything to worry about. You're good. If you haven't, you need to understand that not looking at social media, not blocking and unblocking, not peeking at social media, not having people that are one step away from the narcissist still in your life, all these things, you need to understand that none of these things are good for you. You don't want to hear the name of the narcissist. You don't want to hear the flying monkeys' names. You don't want to go down the same streets you used to drive down. You don't want to go to the same stores that you used to go to. You don't want to do anything the same as you did when you were with the narcissist. I'm talking about the things that the narcissist stole from you or took from you. If you can reclaim those, that's great. And that's a good thing. Example, let's say that you used to be a member of a skiing club. Okay, well, the narcissist joined the skiing club with you and took it away from you because you don't want to do it any longer because they ruined it for you. Well, if you can take that back and reclaim your power, God bless you, that's great. But if that still triggers you or upsets you, I won't be going skiing anytime soon, not until you've healed. And many people ask me during one-on-one sessions, hey, Andrew, when am I going to know I've healed? I'll tell you right now, you'll know. One day you're going to wake up and you're not going to be thinking about the narcissist. You're not going to be ruminating. You're not going to be having these lucid or vivid dreams about the narcissist. You're not going to be pining for the narcissist. And you're going to be focused on yourself. And you'll be walking and you'll be laughing again, and you'll be creating friends or falling in love again, or you'll have relocated or started a business. You'll be taking a class, teaching a class, reading a book, writing a book, etc. And you will know, because when you've healed, the only person that will ever know when you've healed is you. A therapist can't tell you, I can't tell you, a book can't tell you, a video can't tell you, an alleged expert can't tell you. You will know, because you will have put all the hard work into yourself. You will have journaled, you will have shed tears, maybe you will have experienced the angry stage, maybe you have seen a therapist who unfortunately has gone through the narcissistic abusive cycle. You will have slowed your life down. You will have entered the cocoon of boundaries and focused on yourself and processed maybe even childhood wounds and figured out why you entered that relationship, why you stayed so long, how you put up or tolerated with the relationship, and that looking back, you're actually grateful that that relationship happened. Now, side note, did you want to go through it? Absolutely not. If the narcissist held up a 2-page report and put it in your hands the day you met them and said, listen, this is who I am, this is what I'm going to do to you. If you want to enter the relationship, let's go. And then you read that paper and you realized they're a toxic narcissistic individual, there's no way you would have entered that relationship. Why? Because there are 8 billion people on the planet. You could certainly easily find another person to fall in love with, or to spend time with, or become a friend, whatever it would be. But that's not what the narcissist did. Remember, this relationship that you're thinking about right now, it wasn't your fault. You were manipulated. You were duped and tricked and trapped and taken advantage of. And the narcissist knew this. This is why they wear a mask, to infiltrate people's lives. And that is what is going on all over the planet right now. That is what the narcissist does. What they do is they recycle old individuals, or former relationships, I should say, and with people that are either toxic themselves or haven't broken the trauma bond, or they find new sources of supply who don't have the wisdom. And these new people, at one period of time, was you. They were you. They were people that maybe were people pleasers, yes people. They didn't know the strongest word in the English language, which is no. When you say no to something or someone, you are saying yes to yourself. These people didn't have boundaries. But now post-relationship, as the thumbnail mentions, you have boundaries. You're healing. And you don't want to know one thing about the narcissist. It won't serve you. It never has in the past, and it certainly won't now, and it won't in the future. Because the narcissist is nothing but a shapeshifter. That's all they are. They're looking to extract your beautiful, bright, shining light from you. And that's what they did for a period of time, which was the length of the relationship. And they can no longer do that with you, because now you've healed, or you're healing. But they're doing it with other people. They're doing it with their own kids, their own parents, their alleged friends from 10, 20, 30 years. They're doing it with coworkers, with people on trains, planes, automobiles. They're doing it with anybody they possibly can. Think about what I'm sharing with you. It's a fact. So the least amount of information you know about the narcissist, the better off you will be. For some of you, you may not be able to wrap your head around that right now. But for you veterans, please drop comments below. Pay it forward. Help other people out. Understand the message of this video. The things you wouldn't want to know, there are a long list of things. Think about when you were in the relationship. Where was the narcissist going? Why were they late so frequently? What were those phantom texts coming in on one of their 3 smartphones at 12 a.m., 12 at night, or 1 o'clock in the morning, or 2 o'clock in the morning? Why would they take their phone to the bathroom multiple times a day and disappear for 10 or 20 minutes? Why would they be sitting on a couch right next to you and allegedly watching a movie or something, and they would be chuckling or laughing at their phone? But they're not watching the movie with you. They may be sitting right next to you, but they're not watching the movie. They just say, oh, don't worry about it. Just play it. Everything's fine. And you're like, but we're supposed to be watching this together. Yeah, you were. With a good person, with a healthy person, with a stable person, not with a toxic narcissistic individual who's getting supply sitting right next to you on one of their 3 smartphones from halfway around the globe, or from somebody you knew, maybe even a coworker, wink, wink. The whole point is, these toxic narcissistic relationships, they didn't serve you then, they don't serve you now, and they never will serve you. So really play this message a few times, understand what I'm sharing with you. Back then, you tried to get close with the narcissist. You were a kind, loving, healthy, stable individual. You had purpose, you were genuine and authentic. And the narcissist saw this, and they took advantage of it. And they weaponized your empathy and love against you. Next thing you know, you get discarded, and here you are, but you've healed, or you're healing. That's the key to everything. So remember this before I close the video. Nobody can ever tell you when you've healed. You will know, and you will know, because the healing path is not linear. It takes time. It takes a lot of time, but in your time you will heal. But when you will heal, it's because the path to healing is directly contingent upon how much work you place into yourself. You can't take a course, you can't take a magic pill, you can't wave a wand and expect to be healed. It will never work that way. The way it works is when you focus your attention and your energy into yourself, and you understand that you are the key to this whole experience called life. It's not the narcissist, it's not anybody else, it's you. You need to understand and do the deep dive into you and your experience on this planet called life, or this planet called Earth. That's what you need to do. That's when you will heal, when you really, really focus on yourself. Get the message. So guys, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You are not alone. Remember that you are not alone. And this message is a message of growth, of inspiration, of abundance, of hope, fortitude, resilience, strength, courage, and most of all, of love. You need to understand something. Be kind to yourself. Take it slow with yourself. Drown out and avoid toxic energy vampires, and focus your energy on yourself. And before you know it, you will understand that this whole relationship that you experienced, the toxic narcissistic relationship, it's something you had to go through. There was no other way. There simply was no other way. So be kind to yourselves. God bless you guys. I love you all, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right, bye guys.